Okay, welcome to our next lesson about how to use Python. And today we're going to learn about an if statement, and that means if something happens, then do something else. We've already learned about the print command, how to print a string of text. We've also been able to add in a variable into that string. So we were able to say hello and then a name, which was stored in a variable. We learned how we could set a variable to a string, so we could just set it to a name. And then we extended that to change it so we could use the input function to actually ask the user of the program to type something in. And we're going to be using the variable and the input function as well as the print command in answering the first question in our quiz. So you can see here now in my program that I've extended it slightly since last time by adding in these two print commands here with open brackets and nothing inside those. Now they are just going to add blank lines. And then we've got some introductory text to our quiz. So if I run that just so you can see what's happening, type in my name and press enter, you can see here are the two blank lines that I've spoken to and our introduction to our quiz. Now we're going to use a variable, and we're going to use something similar to this on line 1. We're going to call the variable answer. And the reason is that it's always sensible to give your variables names that you will remember and make sense. Okay. When we're writing code, we want it to make sense. So if someone else comes into it, they'll be able to amend it or edit it or debug it, okay, without having to think too hard about why you've called variables certain things. So answer is a nice, easy variable. And you may be saying now to me that I said before that variables normally live at the top of the program, but because we're answering the question here, this is a good point for it to live. Okay, but you could put this at the top of the program if it was just a string. But you'll see now why it has to be here. Okay, because I'm setting that variable to a question that we're answering. I'm going to change the question to what is the name of your school, making sure that I've got my speech marks and my brackets in there. Okay, and now that's going to ask me for the name of my school. So I'm going to run the program, and here, ask me for the name of the school, and that's reached the end of the program. Now what we want to do is you want to add in something that congratulates you if you got the right answer. And that's where we're going to use this if statement. So on a new line, I'm going to type this. If answer, which is the variable on line 7, equals, then in speech marks, I'm going to write my answer. And then I'm going to put a colon there. That's important in when we're writing an if statement, to use a colon at the end of that line. And as you can see, when I press enter, it's automatically added 4 spaces or a tab to our program here. So now I'm going to put in print. That is the correct answer. And now if we run that program, let's see what happens. So I'm typing in the correct answer, and it has told me now that that is the correct answer. So that's how we can use an if statement to determine what to do if we get the right answer. So join us in the next one to see how we can add an else statement to find out what to do if something different happens.